on to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. For the first time in my life, I'm feeling a little naked. I don't have my horse betting garb on. I didn't bring a newspaper.
Yeah, what are you gonna whack when we're watching these horses trot down?
My hands aren't mildly dirty from the touch and feel of maybe it's the inside of a subway off track betting location. It's been a little while. As someone who grew up in the Meadowlands watching the Trotters, I feel like I'm more than qualified to be here today, Sean. This is a culmination of a career.
Kramer's coming home, and we are doing a live pregame show. I don't know, pre-race show as you would call it. And then we're going to be giving out some picks, and then watching the first race, reacting live. We got joining us here to talk StableDuel, our horse racing DFS expert, just all around great guy, Malcolm Bamford. Malcolm, what's happening, man?
Good afternoon, gents. How we doing?
Yeah,
Ryan, you're giving us horse players a bad name. It's a very civilized pursuit. I'll have you know.
Well, I was gonna say, with you chiming in with the very eloquent accent, you're completely turning the American horse racing scene on its head. Yes, eloquent, classy. All of the hats you see on the Kentucky Derby. These are the things we come for. Although this is just a regular old day, so you know.
Well, and he's Malcolm saying good afternoon. It is afternoon across the pond, all the way out in England. For us, Ryan, out here in our home base of Eagle Rock, California, it is 8:30 in the morning, and I was wondering, was I going to get excited? Was I going to get up for this? But then, as soon as we fired up the horse racing screen, we got TVG going there. We got the StableDuel app. We got the live YouTube chat. It is. I'm alive and well. There's no shortage of energy. I'm fired up, ready to go. Let's. We're gonna get into the picks, how to play StableDuel. If you haven't signed up yet, there's a link over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com or on Twitter at Gambling Podcast. Nice little sign up link there. Get you going. Let's just talk before we get into the nitty gritty of this particular race, but. Big picture horse racing handicap. How do you break down horses, Malcolm?
Oh well, that's a lovely broad question. Thanks, Sean.
Where do you start?
I think it depends. Different people do it different ways. If you've got a depth of knowledge, a bit like you boys when I listen to your NFL shows, there's certain things you look for, there's certain things you go to, there's certain trends that you like. When I look at a full racing card, we've talked about this before. If I've done one race for you, for example, the Kentucky Derby, I feel it was strange to do it in isolation because I'll normally break down a whole card. I either go to the track and there'll be a 6 or 7 race card. Now, when we've done things like the Breeders' Cup, we've had 14 races to break down. And that's great for me. That's why I've really enjoyed this StableDuel card because I've got 12, 13 races to choose from. And I can find something that fits in my wheelhouse. It might be a 2-year-old race that you specialise in. There's some races here with some unexposed 3-4-year-olds. There's some handicappers. There's some graded races. So everyone's got their own speciality. Like we have college baseball, college basketball kind of experts. It's the same with me. This afternoon, because we're in the middle of winter, I've been watching all the jumps racing. Now, I love the jumps, the hurdles and the steeplechases. Absolutely outstanding for me. But then the summer comes along and there's certain tracks and there's certain types of race, 2-year-olds, novice races. So yeah, I'm not a big speed figure man. I know the US racing pundits love their speed figures, the buyer figures. I'll go on recent form. I'll look for form on the surface, which is really important, especially on extremes of going. So you get something that acts on really firm ground or really heavy ground, they'll repeat that form. So when there's been a torrential downpour for a couple of days, I love getting stuck into the race. And then you look for a horse. His mudder was a mudder, as Kramer would say on Seinfeld. So you're looking for something like that. So there's always an angle in, like in. I enjoyed something like today, a 13 race card. There's all different types of races, different distances, different surfaces. And that's where in my absolute element, this morning when I got stuck into this, I promised I wasn't going to fall in love with all of these. And I've talked myself into betting about 17 of them now. So yeah.
Well, and it's, so if you're unfamiliar with the StableDuel app, it's again horse racing DFS, kind of similar vibe to DraftKings, where you're picking horses from different races in the same way you pick players from different games. You have 50,000 hypothetical dollars, and you're looking to put together a card. And
so when I think DFS, I think strategy, I think stacks, I think correlation. Is this the kind of, I wonder, Sean, should we be building correlated approaches based on the track conditions?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a rail bias? Do we want to play a lot of horses on the inside? I'm curious to see how Malcolm breaks this down, because as I'm looking at this app, which shout out to StableDuel. We've been dealing with thoroughbreds known as NFL players for the past couple months.
Yep.
But moving over here, wouldn't kill DraftKings to introduce some colors, because boy, do I love looking at all these colors. The odds.
Colors look great.
I know I sound like a chick right now, but I'm very excited to build this horse DFS lineup.
Well, and I overheard, we tweeted out a photo, but Kramer was kind of giving Colby a primer on horse racing handicapping, and he was breaking down the different surfaces, or how packed the surface is versus how loose a surface is. Now, if we're breaking down Gulfstream Park, do you look up the weather? What do you do to learn about the conditions there?
Gulfstream Park's an odd one this weekend because they've recently laid a new surface, which is a tapeta surface, and that's the surface that we'll use for our all-weather racing in this country. Newcastle Racecourse, which is about 5 minutes that way, has a tapeta surface, and it's quite new and it's really popular. And it's meant that they use it out in the Gulf states as well. So a lot of the top trainers, a lot of the top stables will bring their horses now to Newcastle to blood them in order to go out to the winter to take on some of the big money races. The tapeta service is in action this weekend at Gulfstream. So we've got some good old fashioned dirt. We've got some good old fashioned turf. You need to look at the what's happened over the last couple of weeks during that meeting. Again, we wouldn't have a meeting every day at a certain course like you would do in America. Gulfstream will run for 3 or 4 weeks. So you can look back and see where the speed preferences are. Are horses winning off the front? Is it suiting horses that are coming from the back? So yeah, Ryan's right. I was looking for potential, because this is as alien to me, really, as it is to you to build a DFS stack. So I was looking for, can you stack trainers with a certain strike rate, trainers and jockeys, combining together. There's one later on, a trainer jockey combination that have a 70% strike rate when they team up, which is absolutely outstanding. Or then can you stack front runners? If you want front runners, just can you put all your front runners in? Can you put all your hold up horses in? I've taken a bit of a mixed approach, because there's 13 races we could choose from today. We have to choose 10 horses. They don't all have to be from the same race either. So what I thought you'd looking to do, a bit like when you build your NFL stack, is you have to find 1 or 2 of your Escalades. You have to find your Christian McCaffrey, etc.
Yes.
But then you've got to find your Donald Parham as well. We need that. We need that $2,000 tight end at the bottom end. So you're looking for a favourite that's going to win as a keystone. You want 1 or 2 keystones to build your lineup around. And then I thought, right, I'm going to find a favourite to get beat. Let's find a vulnerable chalk favourite.
Yeah.
And once we've found a vulnerable one, then let's find what's going to beat it. Let's find a $500 horse rather than a $9,000 horse that could maybe run into the money. The key to this is not running out of the points. You don't have to win every race. But if you can keep chipping away with a 3rd place and a 4th place, especially with some of these low value horses, then you're going to crew up that leaderboard.
Love it. Yeah, no. So again, it does seem like very similar to DraftKings, where as Malcolm was laying it out, there's some big money plays, but then find a couple long shots.
Well, what I heard was, let's be contrarian. Let's find areas where
you can fade the public,
where we think the public is going to be a little chalky, maybe. And I don't even know. Like, maybe this is just a layman question here, but I wonder how often, or I wonder when they lock in these prices, because much like DFS, pricing inefficiencies can just become by looking at the difference between the current market and when they made the prices. So I don't know if they're constantly adjusting, but yeah, I love the idea of just being contrarian. I would imagine in horses it's the same thing.
Fade the public. And
well, this app seems designed not for the guy sitting in the OTB with the newspaper, grinding out his pick 5 for the day or pick 6 for the day. It does a little bit seem like they're trying to draw in a new crowd. So
well, and shout out to Matthew DeSantis, had a great write up on sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Can check that out. I'll send a link in the chat if you didn't get to check it out already. He's chiming in the chat here. No synthetic today, as Malcolm pointed out as well. Beautiful weather at the Gulfstream, windy, so should be super firm and dry. Favors speed, and he's pointing out Bill Mott / Jose Ortiz is the trainer jockey combo that's winning at a 70% race. They're on Wananaka in race 9.
It's pretty funny because you give me a COVID tip or a team tip, and I'm at this point I'm not excited because they just keep losing for me. But a horse tip, you send me a horse tip, and I'm excited. I'm going to put a ridiculous amount of money on it. Yesterday I lost way too much money at Oaklawn. Shout out to the Wolf of Oaklawn for steering me wrong. But man, all right. How do we start? Do we just start building a lineup?
Let's just start walking through it. Malcolm had sent me over his picks. I of course am just going to be riding Malcolm's lineup, completely stealing it, but
not me. I'll be
Ryan's going to be, you know what? Maybe I added some extra money to the StableDuel lineup. So maybe I'll play a little bit of both.
I'm gonna, as we go through this, I'm gonna be handcrafting a lineup on air with our audience.
Well, and this is what, and again, I'm looking at Ryan. It feels like there's a massive overlay opportunity here right now, or maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But last I checked, there were 210 stables entered, and for the prize pool is 25,000. I love our chances. All right, first up, Malcolm sent over. You have a pick for race 1. Who do you got? Who do you got in race 1 here?
Race 1 for me, horse number 6, Jess's Stride, which was 5-1 shot, which would cost you $6,000. We've got a 50,000 budget, so average $5,000 a horse. This will cost you 6,000. It's won here at Gulfstream Park. It ran really well. It's been off the course since July, but I've got no issues with them being able to get it ready. Godolphin, which is the from the big powerhouse ownership, breedership, bloodstock group from the Middle East. They don't mess about. They'll know how to get one ready. So the break since July doesn't scare me. And I thought we'd get a nice middle of the road here, 5-1, run into the money, get us on the board nice and early.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight that. And if we didn't clarify on the pricing, so you have $50,000, you need 10 horses. So 5,000 per horse would be like the average. Obviously you're going to have some big money horses in there and then some smaller long shots. Like Malcolm said, and it does appear the pricing has shifted a little bit because I think when Malcolm sent me his picks, Jess's Stride was $6,000. It's now down to $5,000 here. Kramer,
so that makes me think then there is a, if when we come back, I'll be making some lineups early in the week to take advantage of the pricing. Yeah. I mean, you look at me like I'm going to add some nugget about the trainer or the color of the horse. None of that's going to be happening. I love the pick. I figured with the first race, we wouldn't want to get too crazy and destroy our lineup chances from the get go. And as Sean pointed out, I like the mentality of understanding where average is. So spending 5,000, Sean, we're still on the path.
Yep. And again, what I had one more thing here. Oh yeah, Matthew DeSantis chiming in. Top 50 win at least $100. Top 6 wins at least 1,000. So I don't know, man. Feels like the odds are in our favor. Let's go StableDuel.
Yeah, my instincts tell me that StableDuel is trying to correct a big problem in the horse racing industry with this goddamn vig they're rolling out. How do you expect me to be a positive EV player in this marketplace? It's unbelievable.
All right. Next up, let's head over to race 2. Ooh, a
maiden special. I like it.
Yeah, and what's a maiden special for the uninitiated, Malcolm?
Maiden is a horse that's never won a race before, effectively. So they'll be looking to break their maiden today to go on to better things. As a result of that, you've got a lot of debutants here, a lot of horses we don't know a lot about. So as a handicapper, you're looking for anything that's been backed. There's people who know more about these horses than me. So if there's any money around on the morning line, it's often worth following the money. I'm actually using what Matthew, who's listening today, told us, a horse called number five, Love to Run, which was a 10-1 shot, $1,000 on StableDuel. Drops down in grade. He's been running in better company than this. The form looks solid. And again, this was one of our cheaper options. And I think there's certainly return on investment to be had with this at $1,000, 10-1 for horse 5, Love to Run.
Used to again, as I mentioned, frequent the Meadowlands, and there was a guy named Gerald that would often be there. And Gerald was your stereotypical bad luck horse racing guy, but he loved the maiden races because that's where you quote unquote change your life. That's where you change your life.
And is there? And now I know this is you only have one horse picked in your card here from race 2. Is there any logic in selecting multiple horses from the maiden race, a couple long shots, with the idea that, hey, none of these horses has ever won? If you hit on some of the long shots here, maybe you have a better shot. Is there anything to that, or is that poor strategy?
No, absolutely fine. There's 2 races later on where I've taken 2 runners in each race, pretty much for that reason, because you need to round your card out with some $50 horses. If you've taken some chalk elsewhere, which we have done. So I've got a 33-1 shot later on. And if they aren't exposed, like I say, just look at the morning line. Even if something's moved from 40-1 into 25-1, that's enough. Someone somewhere, the trainer, the owner, maybe connections, have got some money on that morning line. And if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us.
Yeah.
Follow the money, Sean.
Follow the money.
I will say, as I think about the strategy here, it does seem like your single race stacks should be exclusively like where you're fading a chalk play and you're just taking a couple long shot stabs. Like that, to me, that seems like how you'd fill out the card here. All right.
Now we have moving over to race 3. You have a big favorite here, your biggest favorite of the race. Make a case here for your race 3 horse, Malcolm.
Yeah, not a very original selection, but like I say, you need to put something in there that's going to lock together everybody else. It's the first thing I do on a Saturday when I look through my cards and I'm going to put my Saturday afternoon bets on. You find 1 or 2 keystones, and this was it. It's horse number 2. It's called Never Surprised, which is -150, $13,000. So the most expensive horse that we're going to play this afternoon. It's just a rock solid form line. I can't see what beats it. It should be a cut above. It was runner up in the Pegasus World Cup turf last time out. So I think the connections will gain compensation here. It's going to be chalky, but equally, there's no point fading the chalk just to see everybody else get 50 points that you're not going to get. Good chalk is also a thing. So yeah, horse number 2, Never Surprised.
Yeah, I'm in. Good chalk.
And I think Pletcher, the trainer here, is a Long Island guy. So shout out to New York. Maybe he's a Giants fan. Maybe he's excited about Daboll as well.
Matthew DeSantis pointing out, kind of going back to race 2, the Love to Run pick. Love to Run is run against some of the best fillies in the country and is dropping down significantly in class. Love that pick. He's also co-signing Never Surprised with you as well, and he's throwing out English B, only $3,000 as another option in race 3. Should finish well and still give you guys some positive points. So something to consider there if you're not just rocking Malcolm's lineup.
I mean, this really is a proud moment for me as an Italian American to be able to show my family that I have a full team of horse racing experts.
I know, it's great, and shout out to the team.
I kind of like that we're getting into horse racing. I'll be honest, Sean, because
more time to shoot the shit with Malcolm.
Well,
we got
and if
Wolf of Oakland, Matthew DeSantis checking in.
If college basketball all day is D-Gen, then what is horse? I mean,
wait till we find a Greyhound guy. Then we're really creating some great content.
We have 8 TVs. One can be on horses at all times.
You know what? I'm gonna toss in English B here as well. They're making a good case here. All right, let's move to the next race. I'm pulling up Malcolm's cheat sheet he sent over here. Race 4. You're looking at a long shot here. What do you got? What do you got going in race 4?
Yeah, well, we're going the exact opposite of what we've just done in race 3. And as I've just pulled this up, there's actually been a lot more market movement for it. It's another field full of unexposed 3-year-olds. So I was happy to try and get the favourites beat this time. So what I looked for was, as I just said, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. There's a horse called Creative Minister, which was 16-1, making it $50 just. Bear in mind, we just spent $13,000 on that last favourite. Creative Minister, horse number 7, was $50. Now, it had moved to 12-1 from 16-1 when I wrote this up this morning, about 4 hours ago. Looking at it now, it's gone 10-1 and is now into 7-1. So there's money for it, definitely. This might be worth a play with actual real money, and regardless of putting it in your DFS lineup. But this was just something I had to find a cheaper play. And I thought I'd find something that had attracted some money. It's now halved in price. So 16s into 7s.
And on the StableDuel, the pricing still is at 15-1,
$500.
$500. So the price you sent over is still good for the StableDuel pick there.
Oh, I love my
absolutely
lineup.
Yeah.
I love our lineup so far. The Kramer centric stable is really coming together nicely.
And it will not surprise you to learn that Matthew DeSantis, also proud Italian. Oh. Italians coming together, and
you mean Italian American?
Yes, okay. Exactly. And Matthew DeSantis pointing out it's attracting a ton of money to Malcolm's point, and still the price hasn't shifted on the old app. So that's, maybe this is like you hear the starting running back is out and the backup running back is in, and the DraftKings prices are already locked. Maybe this will get a lot of heat, but still. It's worth playing. It feels like in this kind of format. All right, race 5, Malcolm. Race actually.
Can I just pause you for a second too, because it's important to point this out. Because not only is Creative Minister clearly a great value, but his trainer Kenneth McPeak, he looks like he could be a long lost cousin or brother of both my relatives and Derek Stevens all at the same time. So if there's a
some D-Gen pedigree,
if there's a D-Gen horse trainer here, let's just
#Degens only.
Kenneth McPeak. It almost sounds like a fake name.
All right. Now I'm skipping ahead here a little bit, and we want to make sure we give out the lineup in time. Yeah. But race 5, 6, and 7. You do not have a horse that you're giving out as part of your StableDuel lineup. Any thoughts on race 5, 6, and 7, or maybe why you stayed away from it? You just like the other horses better. What was the thought there, Malcolm?
Yeah, well, we could only pick 10 from 13, so we had to bypass 3 anyway. And like you said, there's often can be some value in playing 2 in the same race, especially if you're looking further down the field and finding some really cheap ones. So yeah, nothing I disliked about any of them. It was just there was things elsewhere. I also quite liked. I was conscious that I'd picked the first 4 races, and it's a bit like when all your players go in the early slate on a Sunday, you have to then sit and watch everybody catch you up, and you think you're going to be rich, and then you're actually not going to be rich. So I thought I'd leave a little donut. We've gone for the donut system I've just invented on the fly, which is we're going to pick at the top, nothing in the middle. We're going to pick at the bottom.
Well, similar with the Zed Run horses, where you want a U-shaped horse. He's building a U-shaped betting card. Heavy up top, nothing in the middle, heavy at the end. This is Malcolm's building for entertainment as well, which as a true D-Gen, you gotta love.
Sounds like he listened to our Super Bowl prop betting strategy, where you want to make sure you got some in the middle, there's some in the beginning, and some in the end. You don't want to be bogged down with everything up front.
Well, and moving over to,
can I just point out, boys? Can I interrupt you and say the final whistle's just gone, and Newcastle won 2-1 against Brighton.
Congratulations!
5 wins out of 6. What a team! Come on,
Soccer Sean will be here in a couple months for the World Cup. Don't worry.
All right, moving over to race 8. You got 2 plays from race 8. You just mentioned sometimes there is some value in that. What do you got going for race 8?
Yeah, so race 8's the first one. We've had 2 selections. Another Godolphin horse, which are the all royal blue colours. You'll know them; they're very famous. The first one's a horse called Prevalence. Actually, this race 8, if Matthew's still joining in, I took a lead from him on this with both of my picks. 8-1 shot, making it $3,000 selection. Back at Gulfstream, which is his home track, and just think it's got a great chance. And again, one of those middling prices that we need. We've got our chalk, we've got our long shots. We need to pad it out with some substantial stuff in the middle. So Prevalence was one, and the other one which Matthew turned me on to, and there's been some money for this as well. A horse called Manor House, which was a 33-1 shot. It's the number 8 horse. Making it $50 on StableDuel. It's been tackling tougher opposition than this. It's now into 22-1. So again, they've shaved a third off the price. As we've been speaking, it's almost as if they're listening to us, boys.
Oh, they could be. It's not the first time. We've moved curling markets before. Let's not forget. And Sean has moved the market on Lehigh to win the Patriot League.
Yes, so. I did. Just me on Lehigh. Totally swung things. Also, nice win by Lehigh.
Matthew
Colgate going down on Sunday.
Matthew giving us a friendly reminder: the game locks in 13 minutes. Also, yes. McPeak, our DGen trainer, he's only winning at 6%. So
okay,
maybe not the best. All right,
all right. Skipping ahead, race 9. You got an $8,000 play in race 9. What are you picking? Why are you picking it, Malcolm?
This is the one we're going contrarian slightly. The smart money, the smart talk, and our colleague Matthew is all over Wakanaka, which is the 10-1 shot. That's the 70% strike rate horse, the Bill Morton Ortiz horse. I'm taking it on with a horse called Arms, which is number 7. It's spelled ALMS, Arms. 3-1. $8,000. Again, same reason. They know how to get this horse ready. It ran well at quite a big price last time. And I think it's got a much better chance. I know Matthew wasn't keen on it at all. Slightly drifted in price. Gone against that couple that we've mentioned. It's out to 4-1 from 3-1. But Joe Rosario's on it this afternoon. And it's one that I think will win. It finished second last time out in a grade 3. And I think there's more to come from it today. So he's one of the more expensive ones that I've got in my lineup.
So you like Alms
for the poor.
And Matthew likes Wakanaka. Wakanaka.
Yes.
He
was a big fan of the Wakanaka.
What a crossroads. Do I go with Malcolm? Do I go with Matthew? I don't know. I'm going Italian here. Sorry, Malcolm.
Gotta go Itai every. Yeah, it's your funeral, right?
Yeah.
Now we just did race 9 there. Race 10, you have once again 2 selections.
Ooh.
What do you got going on race 10 here?
Race 10 would probably feature my lock of the day.
Oh wow.
The horse is called Speaker's Corner. It was a 2-1 favourite. The price is shortened up on that today. It's now 6-4, which would cost you $9,000. On StableDuel. Bill Mott, great form, rock solid form. I just can't see anything getting past it. A really good attitude. Won last time over course and distance, and I'm not feeling much of the opposition. The horse in there called New York Traffic, which we've talked about a few times on our classic pods in the past. Just looks a little bit exposed to me. And I don't think Speaker's Corner is. I think there's more to come from this 4-year-old. With the rest of the field not really blowing my skirt up, that was why I put a second horse in there, which was the number 8, a horse called Collaborate, 12-1 shot, making it cheap on DraftDuel at just $500. Overcame some pretty bad luck to win last time out. So they were my 2. Speaker's Corner, my absolute lock. That's the one I really want to be following up, Never Surprised. Those 2 we need to win. And then hopefully Collaborate can run into a place
and Collaborate
just top up our points.
Collaborate's price has gone up to 3,000 right now on StableDuel is 8-1. So, and shout out to Malcolm who introduced me to a new phrase. What was that? Not blowing my skirt up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
that's what's always great about having Malcolm on. Always learn one new English phrase I was not aware of.
You know, the 49ers aren't blowing wind up my skirt this week. You know, I've fallen off the trail with Malcolm a little bit. I went race 9, Wakanaka, and Matthew convinced me I should also be taking in Italian. Since we are Italian Americans, which means I have 1 spot left. I don't know where Malcolm's at on the card. I think
Malcolm has one. We
have 1 left.
One as well. Race 11, nothing on race 11 you like, Malcolm?
No, I had 1 one slot left to fill. So really, for the sake of excitement, I had to leave that for the last race, and it is the big race of the day too.
The big race of the day is the race 12, closing it out on dirt. Now, you're picking one of the favorite, or no, sorry, there is a 13 race as well, but you don't have a play there. What is your play on race 12? And it looks like you're going a little chalky here.
Yeah, the horse is called Simplification. It's a number 2. 5-2 shot, making it $8,500. Won a grade 3 last time out. I think the main challenge is a horse called Emmanuel, but Emmanuel's drawn quite a bit wider of Simplification. Emmanuel's drawn out in 8, where Simplification's drawn in 2. So I think if you get some track position, I think Simplification's going to be harder to run down. And of those two, I'm not saying it's a match between these two, but these two market-wise are well clear of the field. And I thought the odds makers had it wrong. I thought Simplification was the one to pick over Emmanuel, where the odds makers have Emmanuel as favourite. So I was happy to take the value on the number 2, Simplification.
I love this game. All right, now I got to know, Sean. I left some money on the table. $4,450.
Wow, I entered. I'm rocking the Malcolm lineup. I'm only left $1,950 on.
It makes me wonder if I should be ditching Manor House and slotting in a real bona fide thoroughbred. Do I need to? No, you know what? No, we're not going to fuck with it.
Well, and we have a long shot in race 12. The Wolf of Oaklawn and Matthew DeSantis coming up on a degenerate play here. They both like Howling Time. Jesus. Only $500. Malcolm, your take on Howling Time?
Yeah, I heard Matthew talk it up, and they made a perfectly good case for it. I just think that the front two are just a little bit better. I do think it's a good play if you've got money left to play. Or you wanted to play something, for example, Ryan, if you wanted to swap out Manor House, Howling Time's got a lot of value for money. It will be cheap. It's currently 18-1. Yeah, it drifted a little bit in the market, which would be a slight red flag for me as well. So yeah, no issues with Matthew's selection. I just thought the top 2 in the market were a cut above.
Yeah, I'm down. Totally makes sense. Ryan, we got a network error, something checking out on the TV. We're counting it down here on the StableDuel live stream. Only 5 minutes right now left to post. Again, still time to sign up. Get in over at StableDuel. There's a nice little link over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. $50 entry gives you a chance to win $25,000. And again, I keep crunching the numbers. I think there's some overlay opportunity. Just looking at the Fountain of Funds contest on StableDuel. I keep wanting to say StableStream between Gulfstream and everything else that's going on. So still time to get in. Still time to get down on some of these picks. And Matthew DeSantis saying I would definitely swap Manor House, Ryan, for Howling Time.
Oh my God! All right, how do I do that? All right, what race is Howling Time? Remind me.
12.
12. All right,
race 12. Got some last minute lineup work we're doing over here. Make sure you give Malcolm a follow on Twitter at Mal_B_sports. And I know Matthew DeSantis, his dad, correct me if I'm wrong, Matthew, but you were getting your dad into StableDuel as well. And I think he hit one of the free to play things and did really well. And make sure you follow Matthew as well. Failed to Menace on Twitter. And of course, the Wolf of Oaklawn himself at of Oaklawn. Make sure you give those guys a follow. A Manor House race 8, Ryan. If you're
we're in. I not only that, Sean, I tweeted out a picture of my stable.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's what we do here. Social media.
Stable is ready to go. Where are we at as far as loading in the horses for the first round?
First race. First race. Oh, here we go.
3 minutes, 32 seconds to post, boys.
Yeah, Malcolm might be a little ahead of us. Our TVG stream is showing us 5 minutes to post. We're looking at the what number is that there? There's the one horse trotting around.
And so we're obviously rooting for Jess's Stride. That is the 6 horse in race 1, correct?
Oh, there's more money for it. This is halved in price. This is 3-1 now from 5-1 earlier on.
I like it.
I feel like I should be going and making some bets. This DFS lineup is leaving me feel vulnerable to not having enough action.
I knew this was going to happen.
That. That's what I thought this morning. I thought I'm going to pick these. I'm going to be very sensible. I'm not going to fall in love with them. And then ever since then, all they've done, I've had my little notepad, and the selections have been making eyes at me for the last 6 hours now. I've absolutely fallen in love with them.
The selections are making eyes at Malcolm. Come here, Malcolm. Come on.
And shout out to us being an old school company, because it seems like Malcolm is using pen and paper. There's a lot of pen and paper, a lot of
wow, look at that sheet.
A lot of analog handicappers at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network.
And now I'm seeing
front and back.
Jess's Stride is all the way down to 5-2 right now.
Goodness.
That is crazy.
Oh man! All right, what do we do?
That's a pen and paper guy. We're very on the MLB gambling podcast, which currently is sitting redundant, twiddling our thumbs. We're very pen and paper heavy there. Me and Moonaf have.
Well, now if they were
huge ledgers of information,
if they were to play the baseball season, any early leans that you like, teams?
I like the Mets, but I realise that's a really silly thing to say out loud, because they will cock it up. But yeah, they've spent some smart money, but it's even harder to have a lean, because there's players, for example, with stud pitchers, who, if the pitcher was missing half a season, you wouldn't fancy them. But if the pitcher's only missing a third of the season, then all of a sudden they've got a better chance. So yeah, it's hard to establish, and a lot of free agents haven't signed yet because they're not allowed to do anything. So yeah, there's a lot of fluidity still. Yeah. I just hope they give their heads a bang and get it done soon.
I like it.
Seems like the commissioner's really interested in playing baseball this year.
Couldn't care less, could he?
It's unbelievable. All right, let's do we is this the kind of thing we should be putting on the screen? Are we going to break rules if we
I don't know. I feel like TVG is pretty cool, Ryan. If we can fire it up on the screen. All right. Wolf of Oaklawn, he's ready to go. Matthew DeSantis ready to go. Malcolm ready to go, and we are ready to go here live from Gulfstream Park, broadcast courtesy of TVG. Ryan, we got the 6 horse Jess's Stride. Looks like everyone's loading in now. Malcolm, I think maybe ahead. I don't know how that works.
Let's turn my stream off. I'm not mushing this. Don't worry. My face will belie nothing.
It will be completely stoned.
I'm with you.
All right, and we're loading it up in YouTube. You got a Pick Dundee thing clicking in there, Ryan.
Oh, is it called Pick Dundee from the last broadcast?
Yes.
That's pretty funny. Right, let me change that.
All right, and maybe we can smooth it out a little bit. If not, I'll give the live call from the TV stream. The little handicapping 101 here, Gulfstream Park 1. Oh man,
looks pretty clean. I don't know.
Ryan, we're going to be out in Vegas here in a week or so for March Madness. Are we going to also be watching the ponies here on an extra screen?
You know what happens when there's only 4 college basketball games going on. At some point, I'll get the itch, and it'll be time to go up to the window and do a couple of try boxes. Maybe just throw a C note down on a big favorite and hope it comes through.
He has not raced since July 4th.
Oh, I don't know. Do people hear this?
For a long time.
I hear it. Malcolm, can you hear it?
Yeah. Fits against winners.
Correct.
Yes.
That's exactly right. So
the pick 5 total pool almost up to
look at charts and see.
Wow, almost over a $500,000.
A lot of water under the bridge for Jess's Stride. So I think they picked a good spot for him. They didn't overreach.
These guys aren't as good as us. Turning them off. I don't hear any sweet, eloquent British accent. I don't hear anyone talking about I don't know, contrarian stacks and track biases. The pick 5 though, almost up to 600K. Gotta love that. And shout out to anyone who's ever come close or sweated a pick six. The HBO show Luck captured it beautifully. Remember that show before they captured DGen lifestyle before the fucking horse had to die and they had to cancel the show. But I as a kid, I remember witnessing a someone win a pick six, and it was to this day. Like I think it's what makes horse racing intriguing to me.
What's the? Have you ever?
The last time I spoke to you boys, our ice cream horse has expired. Did you see that news?
Yes, yeah, that was really sad.
It really was.
They stripped him of his title.
Stripped him of his title.
He passed away, and they stripped him of his title. And Bob Bamford, some sort of suspension. What was his actual suspension?
Oh, I can't remember. I don't know if it was just localized, maybe to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Or nationwide or what have you. But these things won't make any difference because he'll have an assistant who'll just take immediately over and do whatever Bob Baffert tells him anyway. So yeah,
doesn't seem like it's really
relevant. But yeah, it was the whole thing was just from the fact we came on our radar sort of 4 months before the event to follow that all the way through was just all a bit peculiar.
Yeah, no, that was that was an unfortunate demise to our favorite horse with the ice cream. Now, wow, look at the pick five total pool up to well over $750,000. Ryan, let's go. Jess's Stride. They're gallivanting around, not quite getting into the post yet. Wolf of Oaklawn saying he's suspended from Churchill Downs for 2 years. He's suspended from Kentucky for 90 days. Okay, it looks like they're going to be in the posts here. Fountain of Fun's about to kick off. Everyone's got their StableDuel lineups ready, locked in.
There's too much going on, and just knowing outside this door, Colby's got 8 college basketball games. Does he have race 1 on God's eye?
6 horse, not quite in the gate yet.
I've got no pictures here, boys. So you were going to have to be my eyes and ears here. So I'll be looking forward to a very professional call of this race from somebody.
Number 6 is loaded in. You can feel the dramatic tension, and they're off.
Racing at Gulfstream. Could start out wide for Fast Loaded, who heads off for the yearly lead. Hustled along, old time
the 6 is up
part of the pace.
front.
Jess's
Come on,
Stride
6. Come on, 6.
Far away.
Let's go, 6.
Twice too many.
5 is out ahead. 5 is out ahead.
Center, racing ahead of Awesome Beach and Bailey. Mid-flight for the Ice Beast, wide on the course and Handsome Prince.
6 is hanging around 4th place right now. Let's go, 6.
You can see the jockey is just chilling. He's in good position.
Waiting to make the strike. Falling back a little bit.
2 and 2. Up on the outside, All-Time Revival is there. Second place,
6
is now third.
Come on, 6.
Favorite, You're Killing Me in the clear, while 2 lengths behind.
You're killing.
Jess's Stride is
Great
between
name.
horses alongside Fast Loaded.
Here comes Jess's Stride. Jess's Stride's
Bailey,
making a run.
baby.
Come on, Jess's Stride.
Wide on the course. And
wow, they're neck and neck here.
They round the far turn now, and up on the outside, Old Time.
Come on,
Revival
6.
sticks in.
Let's go.
Tiger battles back second, 3 wide. You're Killing Me now third. Jess's Stride hunts racing room for Rios.
He's there.
Jess's Stride trying to make a push, can't quite find an angle.
Top of the lane.
He's good. He's gonna burst.
Half-mile speed.
Let's see it.
Let's go.
Twice too many got
now it's opening up.
To go get Tiger.
No, come
Over
on.
the top, You're Killing Me still right there.
Here he comes.
Here
he comes.
Come on. And he's up to challenge for control. 16th of a mile to go. You're Killing Me.
Oh, no.
Leon rising to the occasion late.
Oh, no.
You're Killing Me. The first race favorite is home first over Tiger in second. Closer third. Either Twice Too Many or Ampersand.
All right.
123.
It's only one race, guys.
Comes through with the win under Tyler Gaffleone. Just eking it out gradually, steadily, fast-paced early, Simon.
Lame. I'm back.
What an anticlimax that was.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Just one race.
Who won? 12?
Yeah, You're Killing Me.
Oh, his favorite. I mean,
Oh, well, according to the StableDuel app, I'm currently tied for first.
Nice.
With everyone. With everyone. All right. Well, this is fun. And
damn it.
Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the races, sweat it out. Malcolm, if we do end up taking this home, I'll hit you up.
Yeah, open the tip jar.
Tip jar will be filled up. if we end up pulling this off. A lot of fun, and you can see. Now a nice little shot here of Rattle and Roll. You can see why this is so much fun. Make sure you head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Click the StableDuel link. Give Malcolm a follow on Twitter at Mal_B_sport. We will be back.
Sounds like
I don't know
we'll
when
be
their
doing
next one is, but
best ball and horse racing all off season.
Yeah, these StableDuel things are fun. Appreciate all the help, and then make sure you check out Matthew DeSantis on Twitter, Wolf of Oaklawn. Check out their picks on the site.
The SGPN horse team is growing.
Look out! We got more stuff to come.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Digital horses
for the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Excellent to have Malcolm. We're gonna win some money today.
Let's go.